Tuesday, May 12, 2026, AGNDD Intelli Report topic. David Attenborough turns 100. Please pardon any visual and informational inaccuracies in this partially AI-generated article-based video. David Attenborough, a voice of nature, turns 100. Pictures and striking scenes from the making of perhaps the world's most celebrated naturalist. By Jonathan Wolfe, reporting from London, May 8, 2026. David Attenborough is celebrating his 100th birthday on Friday, a milestone in a remarkable life that has taken him from hunting fossils as a boy to becoming perhaps the world's most celebrated naturalist. Tributes are arriving from across the globe, from the Royal Albert Hall in London to the galley of the Royal Research Ship Sir David Attenborough in the Antarctic, for a man who has dedicated his life to communicating the wonders of nature and their fragility. At the Natural History Museum in London, scientists marked the occasion by naming a species of parasitic wasp after him, one of more than 50 animals, insects, and plants that now carry a version of his name. Mr. Attenborough, seen as a young broadcaster, projected on a 360-degree screen at an event in Plymouth, England in May 2026. Credit, Ben Birchall Press Association via Associated Press. I had rather thought that I would celebrate my 100th birthday quietly, but it seems that many of you have had other ideas, he said in an audio recording released ahead of his birthday, adding that he was completely overwhelmed by the number of birthday greetings he received. Look back on his extraordinary life and career. A life-changing boyhood find. Mr. Attenborough was born in London in 1926 and spent his youth on the campus of what is today the University of Leicester, where his father, Frederick Attenborough, was second principal. In a moment that would define his life, he was scouring rocks in the English countryside in the late 1930s when he split one open with a hammer, revealing the fossil of a marine mollusk. "My eyes were the first to see it since its occupant died 200 million years ago," he said in a 2009 documentary. Mr. Attenborough, in 1985, when he was knighted by Queen Elizabeth II for his service to broadcasting and television. He was pictured with his wife Jane Wright and daughter Susan. Credit, Press Association via Associated Press. "I suppose it's true to say that it was one of the key moments of my life," he added. "I have been repeating that moment off and on throughout my life, and the thrill has still not worn off." He enrolled at Clare College, part of the University of Cambridge, in 1945, where he studied natural sciences, including geology and zoology. After graduating, he was called to serve for 2 years in the Royal Navy and was stationed locally in North Wales. In 1950, he married Jane Elizabeth Ebsworth Oriel, who died in 1997. A filmmaker at heart. After military service, Mr. Attenborough took a job editing science books for children, which he left in 1952. He joined the BBC as a television producer, an interesting choice as he did not own a television at the time. 2 years later, he helped launch Zoo Quest, which, according to the BBC, was the first natural history series to use footage shot on location. Mr. Attenborough, who joined the show's expeditions, was part of a team that was the first to film several rare birds and the Komodo dragon, according to the network. Mr. Attenborough in his early BBC career. He is pictured with a colleague while he was the head of BBC Two, and with a lemur in London while presenting Zoo Quest. Credit R. McPhedran Daily Express Hulton Archive via Getty Images, Edward Miller /Keystone /Hulton Archive via Getty Images. In 1965, he became the head of the recently launched BBC Two, the corporation's second channel, where he oversaw the creation of the sketch comedy show Monty Python's Flying Circus and the introduction of color television. In 1969, he was promoted to the director of programming for the entire BBC, but by then had tired of corporate life. He resigned a few years later to return to filmmaking full-time. "That's what I enjoy," he said at the time. Redefining nature documentaries. In 1979, Mr. Attenborough released Life on Earth on the BBC, a 4-year labor of love that was filmed in more than 100 locations and explored the evolution of life of the planet. The series was the first to capture footage of several species and their behaviors, including the courtship displays of birds of paradise, according to the BBC. It also featured a striking moment in Rwanda when Mr. Attenborough sat among a group of gorillas. The filmmaker David Attenborough, who turned 100 years old on Friday, has spent decades documenting and advocating for the natural world. Credit John Stillwell Press Association via Associated Press. Mr. Attenborough planting a Wallamay pine at Kew Gardens in London in 2005, and with a potoroo, a small marsupial, during a visit to Taronga Zoo in Sydney, Australia in 2003. Credit Carl de Souza, Agence France Presse, Getty Images, Dan Peled, Associated Press. The encounter I had with the gorillas, it seemed to go on forever, he said of the experience. And I was kind of in paradise. I lost all sense of time. The series was a great success, seen by more than 500 million people worldwide, according to the BBC, and ushered in a new era of nature documentaries. In the early 1950s, when Attenborough joined the BBC, natural history television had been mostly conceived of as a specialist genre catering for amateur naturalists. Jean-Baptiste Gouillon, a professor of science communication at University College London, wrote for The Conversation UK. By the 1980s, he had helped transform it into one of the most popular genres of TV programming and a powerful conduit for science communication. Mr. Attenborough followed up Life on Earth with similar documentaries, including The Living Planet, The Blue Planet, and Life of Birds. Britain's Prince William left, and Mr. Attenborough watching the screening of Attenborough's new documentary Our Planet at the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland in 2019. Credit Marcus Schreiber, Associated Press. In 1985, he was knighted by Queen Elizabeth II for his service to broadcasting and television. He was knighted a second time by Prince Charles in 2022 for his services to television and conservation. A voice for the planet. In the past, some conservationists have criticized Mr. Attenborough and his programs for failing to show humanity's detrimental impact on the planet, including singling out the forces driving global warming or extinctions. He was initially cautious about the idea of man-made climate change, but that changed when he attended a lecture in 2004. There he became convinced beyond any doubt that humans were responsible, according to The Guardian. In 2017, he narrated Blue Planet 2, which raised an alarm about plastic pollution, and in 2019, he narrated Netflix's Our Planet, a series that stressed the harm humankind has done to the natural world. In recent years, he has urged world leaders to work together to address climate change. In 2022, he received a Lifetime Achievement Award from the United Nations for his dedication to addressing issues like climate change, species loss, and pollution. In 2020, he released A Life on Our Planet, a book and documentary that he called his witness statement. It is a full-throated condemnation of environmental destruction. Mr. Attenborough at the United Nations Climate Change Conference, COP26 in 2020, credit, pool photo by Chris J. Ratcliffe. All we require is the will, he wrote in the book. The next few decades represent a final opportunity to build a stable home for ourselves and restore the rich, healthy, and wonderful world that we inherited from our distant ancestors. Our future on the planet, the only place as far as we know where life of any kind exists, is at stake. Jonathan Wolfe is a Times reporter based in London, covering breaking news. Comments. Dan, United States, May 8th. If men like David Attenborough led the world, it would be a much better place. Happy birthday. Bill White, Ithaca, May 8th. Watched him on Nature Wednesday night and, as usual, thoroughly enjoyed it. Attenborough has an amazing grasp of science for a non-scientist and is an absolutely superb communicator of science, maybe the best ever. We are so fortunate to still have him. Happy birthday, David. Pat0903, Arizona, May 8th. All these remarkable accomplishments in bringing the magnificence of nature into our homes. Andy oversaw the creation of Monty Python's Flying Circus on the BBC when he was a programming director there. Well done, Sir David, and happy 100th birthday. Andrea, Milan, Italy, May 8th. This is just about the best news for the day, maybe the month. Happy birthday to someone who really pushed for a better world. J. Aarhus, Denmark, May 8th. A toast to Sir David, a most noble knight of earth. We are all indebted to your inspiring teachings. Laura, Atlanta, May 8th. Happy birthday to Sir David Attenborough. Thank you for sharing your love and curiosity about the natural world with us. You have enriched my life via your wonderful documentaries. You are a gem. Ryan, Cincinnati, May 8th. A giant guided by curiosity, humanity, and humility. How lucky we are to have him. An inspiration to all humanity. Happy birthday. DM, Scotland, May 8th. I've been reading reader comments on British news websites and now here. It can be said that Sir David Attenborough is universally loved by nearly everyone. His youthful wonder at the natural world is surely what has sustained his life to such an age. Those that disparage the undeniable connection we have in the cycles of nature are those that would destroy it through their ignorance or lust to dominate it for their own gain. Let us be like him, measured and wise in thought and action. Liana, Brooklyn, May 8th. Thank you, David Attenborough, for educating us all and treating animals and nature with curiosity and respect. Mark Schaefer, DDS, MPH, Niles, Michigan, May 8th. Happy birthday to a man truly worthy of being called Sir. Good Captain, UK, May 8th. David Attenborough is a remarkable man. He has always conducted himself with dignity and confidence backed up with a keen intellect. What it would be if the world today was run by such people. IK, Washington, May 8th. Living proof that the outdoors is good for you. Happy birthday. Andrew, London, May 8th. We Brits often overdo the words national treasure, particularly re-actors who appear in long-running TV sitcoms. But David Attenborough is a giant in TV broadcasting who totally deserves the accolade. Has any other TV broadcaster brought more pleasure to the global millions of TV watchers? Happy birthday, Sir David, top man. Miss Dot Bark, Maywood, New Jersey, May 8th. Opening our eyes to the natural world, to the interdependence of species, to both the sedate life and the social structures of animals. And finally, encouraging us to love and care for the many varied occupants of the planet. Can there be a greater achievement? Happy birthday to a man of truly great achievement.
Thank you for watching this AGNDD Until I Report, dear viewers. Please like, subscribe, and click the bell button to get notified during new uploads. And make sure to tune in next time. Stay safe and healthy. Cheers.